Hey everybody, it's Reed, and yes, you read that title right. Implementation is dead. So you might be scratching your head on how in the heck that is possible. But before we get started, if you like our content, don't forget to hit that like button down below and hit the subscribe button if you want to receive notifications and all of that good stuff when we release more content that you love. Your subscribership helps us grow the channel. It also helps us bring you more content. So thank you very much. So today we're going to talk about why we have stated that implementation is dead. And really, to get started on this, I like to take everybody out to the 30,000 foot view and what has been. So what has been historically for the past 35 or so odd years is that we have billed customers hourly. We say, hey, it's going to be 150 hours, and that's an estimate. It could be more or less depending on your circumstances. And you go through the implementation. It's a one-on-one environment, and whoever was in that implementation, whether that's one person or a group of people, they're the only ones who retain that information. Okay, there's not anybody. It doesn't get magically translated on unless you've got a really good internal training program, which most companies, I hate to say it, but most companies, when it comes to training on technology, they don't have the best plan in place. The newest sort of approach to that model is a fixed fee or a project cost approach, which is really just a glorified time and material billing. It's just they've switched it over to progress, and they've calculated the number of hours that it usually normally takes or average takes, and they've put a fixed project cost to it. Sometimes they're adding a premium for things like project management and all of that stuff. But those two methods are really the old way. And the primary reason why is because you don't retain the information within your own company. It's in the door and out the door with whoever is in charge of that implementation, whoever is involved in that. And so we knew that had to change. And so we killed implementation. We said, we're not going to do that. And with Sage Intacct for Construction, because it has so much feature-rich construction functionality right out of the box, it doesn't require any customization like Acumatica or NetSuite does, just to get up to, par with what you're normally used to. We knew we could take advantage of our ability to produce content and our ability to produce educational materials around the product that our customers and folks who are interested in Sage Intacct for Construction can greatly benefit from. So before, you'd pay $35,000, $40,000, $45,000 all up front. You're going to be trained. Whoever is being trained, either they retain that information or they don't. If they don't, you're going to continually spend that money for, years, if not decades to come. If they fully absorb that, then you're probably off to a good start, but you've got to have a good training and education program in case that person decides to leave, or there's a new person who comes in to fill their shoes and whatnot, or maybe even somebody comes in underneath them. You got to have a pretty good training program, and they've got to be good instructors and teachers themselves. So what have we done to replace implementation? Because you have to get your software up and running. I get that. So it's not something that I'm unaware of. Well, we've released two programs. The first is Vanguard Enablement. And Vanguard Enablement is a series of courses, and hopefully somebody will put up a screenshot or a little widget on just basically the course overview that we have. And it's guided. So it's a through learning management system. You can start at, our course 100, and you can go all the way to our construction project courses. And eventually we'll have payroll courses and things like that as we get more content out there. And you can get really 90% of the way there and trained on those videos alone. And it's on your own timeline. So you can, do it nights and weekends, or you could do it in the morning, or you could do it during your lunchtime, what have you. And the best part about Enablement is you don't have to spend a dime. It's free. You can go to our website, go to Sage Intacct in the menu, drop down Enablement, and you can enroll in our courses today. It's open to the public. So the second component of that is deployment. So when you're ready to launch the software and you're ready to make that purchase commitment, you can spend the funds and you can be live with our deployment program in as little as 4 weeks, depending on your tenacity to get it done. And, we're seeing on average probably about 4 to 6 weeks is as fast as most people want to go. But that is at a subscription rate. And it doesn't just include our deployment. So you're going to pay a low monthly rate or a low annual rate for our enablement, which includes our enablement for free, of course, and you can do that without even spending a dime with us. It includes our deployment, which means that we're going to get you 0 to 100%, or you're going to get yourself 0 to 100% in a series of live classes with our deployment team. And then it includes refinement, which is coming back and adding the fun stuff like smart events and automated reports and all of that good stuff that you didn't have in your old system, building dashboards, customizing or tweaking, like the native WIP report that's in the system. And then it also includes pro support for the first year too. So you can ping our help desk, help@bangerdinc.com, get a same-day business response from us. And it's a huge, huge value benefit. And it's at a significantly reduced cost compared to your hourly or your fixed project costs. So I would really encourage everybody to take a look at our enablement and deployment programs for Sage Intacct Construction, simply because of the value that you're going to get out of it. You can, let's say you have one stakeholder, you want that person to learn it through and through within the first month or two, and then you want to roll out training to the rest of your staff. Well, you can use all of our resources in deployment and enablement to get that done. So you can send people to a specific deployment class like AR or AP for your AR AP clerk, or you can send your payroll admin directly to the payroll LMS course on our enablement. And so you have access to that 24/7. And that's a huge advantage, because you don't have to say, okay, we're going to have to call up a consultant, we're going to have to get a quote for training, we're going to have to sign an SOW, we're going to have to pay that money up front. All of that kind of stuff goes away with Vanguard Enablement and Deployment for Sage Intacct. So if you haven't checked out our webpage, it's revamped completely thanks to our marketing team. And you just go to bangerdinc.com, read what we have to say on the front page, and you can dive deeper into it. And I appreciate you taking the time today with me. And as always, make it a great one.